welcome back to another video from Prempods. It's been a long time off from international break. It's been about close to 2 weeks, I think. So looking forward to get back into the games. An exciting one to kick off.
Yes.
Game week 13.
Massive game.
Which could be unlucky for a lot of teams this week.
Yeah.
But without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. 12:30 kickoff. First game of the game week. Manchester City at home to Liverpool.
I have actually surprised myself.
Here we go.
With this prediction.
Here we go. Go on.
I have gone 1-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
I've actually backed Liverpool because the only reason I'm saying this is because I looked at the stats for Newcastle-Chelsea, or for Newcastle, I think it was Newcastle-Chelsea. Oh no, in fact, I looked at the stats for Newcastle-Arsenal, and they were horrible. They were very, very heavily in favour of Arsenal in it.
Right.
And the same I can say about this game for City, which is why I'm backing Liverpool, because sometimes there's got to be an outlier.
Yes, I agree, definitely. But, I mean, we do, like you're saying about the form and stuff like that, we haven't got the greatest record against City, at the Etihad especially. So we kind of, and this is going back years before City were the force that they are today. I'm going to go with Desmond, 2-2. I think, draw is something that happens more often than not. It's like draw, City win, and then Liverpool is quite a way back from that. I'm not saying that we can't win. Obviously, I'm on the positive side of hoping that the players come back fit from international duty. City have got a few players that are coming back as well, so everyone could be a bit rusty and just a bit lackluster.
Mate, I'm backing you in this one, and I hope you do the job.
But I'm going 2-2.
Going 2-2.
2-2.
I've got a few of them this week, but it's not this fixture.
You got a few 2-2s?
Yeah, mate. I've got a few 2-2s this week, mate. Fair enough. But yeah, Liverpool, I think they're going to do it. I don't think there's much to be said. I hope you take the points, all of them, off City.
It's going to be a tight game, isn't it? We've always had interesting fixtures against each other, even when it's ended up in 0-0 and stuff, or a 1-0. It's always been quite a well-contested game. It's a bit of a killer at this. It's the first game, like 12:30 kickoff.
12:30, mate.
There would have been like more kind of interested if it was like you saw a few Premier League games before this, and then it was like the 5:30 on the Saturday or something like that.
It's a good way to restart the league, though.
It is a good way to start off. So hopefully, anyway. Hopefully we get the win. We need players to come back and just start firing straight away. We're playing City. We can't have no people feeling a bit jaded and whatever else. Could be the case.
I think you lot will be fine, man. You've got a few players coming back from South America, but I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, so I've gone 2-2.
Gone 1-0 Liverpool.
You've gone 1-0. We'll go right on to the next one. One of quite a few 3 o'clock kickoffs this week. Burnley at home against West Ham.
This is where I've gone for a Desmond. Because I feel like, although Burnley are at home and they might score 2 goals, I think West Ham will peg them back. And I think it will be 2-2, mate.
Okay, right.
That's what I think, mate. No, let's do it here.
Yeah, the things...
It's right here. Oh, it's because you're looking at this.
Yeah, what different.
You need to make this. No, you need to make this into this. There you go, mate.
Yeah. Alright.
What is your prediction for this one?
I still think that Burnley are kind of a way off a lot of other teams in the league so far.
They are.
They've definitely showed that. West Ham, they're a hit and miss team, but I do expect them to beat a Burnley in this situation, even away from home. I don't know. I just can't. The Burnley, Lutons and Sheffield United, we're looking at it every week and we kind of find it hard to make a case for them. Obviously, they're going to have outliers. They're going to win games. It is going to happen. It's the Premier League. But I don't think this is one of them. I think West Ham should have enough quality. Score-wise, I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham.
3-1 to the Hammers.
Yeah.
Same amount of goals as my game.
It will probably end up as a boring 0-0 or 1-0 or something like that. But yeah, I still think that both teams can score. Burnley can score goals. But they're so leaky as well. That's the problem. And West Ham, Bowen's on fire. He's going to keep scoring goals. Antonio's always a problem if he plays. Paqueta,
Yeah.
Can always chip in with a few goals. They just seem to have that extra bit of one or two players that are quality, that are a level above kind of their team.
Yeah, they do. The thing is, West Ham, like on paper, their team's brilliant, isn't it? But West Ham are a team that teams do play against and think they might not turn up this week, innit?
Yeah.
So the players are good and they should turn up and they should beat Burnley. But what happens, we'll have to wait and see, mate.
Indeed.
We'll have to wait and see. The next game is some actual game that I'm looking very forward to, mate.
Oh.
It's Luton against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, this is kind of another odd one for me. Another case where you should look at Palace's team, the 11, and think they have got them extra few players that have that moment of magic in them. If Eze's back, if Elise is back. Again, we was talking about it before the international break. You kind of find it hard from where Palace are going to score goals from if they don't have these players and if there's no moments of magic and stuff like that.
Pretty much.
Edard needs to start scoring more goals.
Ayew's not going to get them.
Ayew never scores enough goals.
He just scores one worldie.
Yeah, exactly.
Now and again, innit?
He plays more on the wing now. His role is a bit different, but yeah, them type of players, they're not gonna. Every now and then they'll win you a game.
That's true.
But not consistently enough for me, really.
What? So you think Palace are going to nick it?
I should think Palace will win. I'm gonna go 2-0.
2-0 Palace?
Yeah.
I've gone 2-1 Palace. I still think Luton will grab a goal at home, but I just don't think they'll win.
That's the thing. They can definitely score because Palace are a weird team. They make silly decisions sometimes defensively, and they just let teams back into games unnecessarily.
They do.
And this is, we say it all the time. Every single week we say it, like a broken record. But being at home for these teams is so important. And yeah, the crowd behind you, no matter how many people are at Luton Stadium, it's an interesting atmosphere, isn't it?
They could nick it, mate. This is like, they've played Liverpool, they've played United, they've played really well. They just haven't got all of the rewards. Personally, I think they should have beat you if the game is fair. Which is why all of us know that life isn't fair. Because Luton would have about 12 points if life was fair, but it's not. So, yeah, they should have definitely got 3 points against you, and they didn't. They played really well against United. Didn't do anything again.
Tottenham, I mean, they were playing against 10 men, but then they probably should have got something from that game, playing against 10 men.
Yeah.
Only 1-0 they lost that game at home.
Yep.
So there's instances where they should have, you're right, they should have got something from games, but they're not, and they have to start at some point.
Exactly.
But that's a good start against us, isn't it? Bloody hell, they nearly beat us.
Definitely, yeah. It's close.
What did you say for this?
I said 2-1 to Palace.
2-1 Palace.
Yeah, I said 2-1 Palace, mate.
Right, yes. Moving on to another, even more interesting fixture. This is the one I was looking forward to, actually, apart from our one, obviously. Newcastle at home against Chelsea.
Mate, this game, I think, is going to be we say this word shit show a lot in it on this show, and I think this game is going to be an absolute shit show. Because I think it's all going to be played in the middle, but then they ain't got that many great you ain't got players that can be taking over the game from the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's going to be a weird game. To just keep it simple from my side, I've gone for another Desmond.
Fairs.
I've gone 2-2 because I still see both of these teams scoring, but I just don't see anyone beating the other one. 2-2 for me.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea they've put in some good performances in games
big games,
in bigger games. They've turned up and they've scored goals, and for the most part, I think they drew against us. They drew against you. They've drawn against City now.
Yeah.
So they're not really losing. They beat Tottenham in the most recent one. Yeah. Obviously, different circumstances, but they still got the win.
Yeah.
So they are turning up. It seems they don't need the extra kick up the arse in these games, from what it seems.
Don't think so.
Even when I look at it, like starting 11, but potential starting 11 anyway. You just look at that team. It doesn't really frighten you as a Chelsea team, as you'd expect Chelsea to. Yeah.
It's that striker, man. That Nicholas Jackson geezer's woeful. Guy was struggling to score against 9 men.
Yeah.
That's horrendous.
He was kicking it straight at the goalie as well.
Mate.
But, yeah.
Goalie was any good, he would have just stood still and saved it.
That's one of the worst
gotta be
hat tricks in the
be.
Premier League, I think. Definitely. But yeah, just like...
No, it's not scary, you're right.
No.
There's no one in there.
But again, Newcastle have had a few injuries. They're having a few problems now. They're, playing in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to catch up with them, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
All the extra travelling. They've got players that are coming back from South America as well. Mahrez, Joe Linton, Almiron, considered key players for this team.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how they're going to come back. Obviously, Chelsea as well. Enzo Fernandez, Sassedo, Jackson. Similar again. They're both in a similar position.
That's what I'm saying.
For the amount of players that are coming from long distances, but I mean, I think Newcastle will have enough. It's kind of a tough one because again, I think the first half for Newcastle is always so key for these lot. Even if they come out of it at 0-0, the crowd is still on the side.
Definitely.
They're still going to keep going. They're still going to be basically willing the ball into the goal.
Definitely.
And Chelsea can concede. You've seen it. They're leaky. Even against a man-man Spurs, they conceded a couple of goals. Disallowed. They could have conceded another one where Son had the chance.
It's true.
So they are still there to be carved open. I'm going to go with 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, against my better judgment, because I do think that Chelsea have been good in these games, and if anything, the least they'll get is a draw. But I'm still going to go with 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle, mate. And then into a game that I think someone needs to get some revenge. That actually is Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. Forest are at home. Forest have actually beat Brighton quite a number of times in the last meetings. And I think it is now time for Brighton to step up and start beating them. So I have gone for a massive result, mate.
Oh?
I've gone 4-1 to
4-1
Brighton, away from home. Even though Forest are in form, they love to bottle it.
Yeah.
They do love
Brighton
to bottle it.
Brighton are not in great form either. I mean, they haven't lost.
They got to pick it up, mate.
5.
They lose to Forest as well.
Yeah, Forest haven't lost against Brighton in the last 3.
Mm-hmm.
Last season they won against Brighton at home, and then they drew away from home, so they got 4 points from the 6.
Big achievement
again,
against Brighton.
Yeah, I do think this is probably a different proposition. But Forest are a proper weird team, man.
They are. That's why I've gone for that result. Strange.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 3-1 Brighton.
3-1 Brighton.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not going to not give Forest a goal, but...
It's a 4-1 though, isn't it?
4-1 Brighton, man. I think they're going to do them. They have to. Forest beat them at home last year, 3-1. I think Brighton have got
Brighton need to get back on form as well.
That's it.
Because they've been dropping points a few times in games now. And you can easily kind of get lost from the pack and from where they started off the season, looking like they could be challenging for top 4.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? They slowly, if they keep going the way they are, they're going to slowly fall away from that pack.
That's it.
So they need to get back on track very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So we've both gone comprehensive Brighton wins, I think.
Definitely.
Next game, last 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Sheffield United are at home against Bournemouth. Yeah, this is one where I was like, this could definitely go either way. Even though Bournemouth still do have, I believe, more Premier League pedigree, and more chance to stay in the league, definitely. But in these one-off games, I still feel like Sheffield United can do them.
Yeah.
Over the long term,
Why not?
Bournemouth are probably safe compared to Sheffield United, but in the one-off game,
yes.
in the head-to-heads, it's
how you turn up.
Yeah. I'm going for a shock because I don't really go for too many shocks. I don't think it'll be that much of a shock. So I'm going to go 2-1 Sheffield United.
I've gone for the exact same score, but for the other team. I've gone 2-1 to Bournemouth. Because I think Bournemouth have been turning it on recently.
Yeah, they are picking up a few
Beat
more
Newcastle,
results.
mate.
Yeah.
Solanke scored 2.
They were a lot better than Burnley as well. I remember us talking about that when they played Burnley.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot better.
At Sheffield United, similar kind of standard quality.
Yeah. They just got a bit more experience.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit harder to play against them, but I think they'll beat them.
We have been saying that Sheffield United have been doing good at home.
Yes.
They've had good performances at home. And they sometimes are not getting the results to back that up. Against City especially.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think it'll be too much of a shock even.
If they won 2-1, no, I wouldn't. I don't think it'll be a shock either way, mate. wouldn't shock me in the slightest.
But yeah, that game is flip a coin for me. For
Oh
that game,
yeah,
to be
that's
honest
a hard game to pick.
But yeah, there's your 3 o'clock kickoffs. The last game on Saturday is a 5:30, and it is a London derby. Brentford are hosting Arsenal.
See now, I think that we'll still have too much for Brentford, but I think, as we love to do, we'll make it hard for ourselves. We don't have to travel very far. We're not going up to Manchester, we're not going up to Liverpool, we're just going down the road.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a decent afternoon for us. Like I'm saying, we will make it hard for ourselves, so I think we're going to win 2-1.
That was the first one that kind of popped into my head, 2-1. Brentford are always, they're always there to nick a result off you. Always.
They're good.
I mean, but when we played them recently, I think it might have been just before the international break. It was 3-0.
Yeah, they were dreadful.
They're a weird team.
They made one good pass that whole game and then he scored from it.
I mean, they're always there. They are always there as a threat. And again, Alisson saved us a couple of times in that game, so it could have gone either way at certain points.
They don't really do too well against us, though, to be fair. The head-to-heads is not great, not good in their favour. But again, so was the Newcastle one and they beat us, so...
Exactly. But that's a different Newcastle team. I don't know if it's too much of a different Brentford team for when they beat you.
Well, they ain't got Ivan Toney.
Exactly, which is always seems to be a big part of the Brentford team when they do beat you.
It's true. Very true.
There isn't much for the way of goals. Well, I think Arsenal have still been a bit, we've said it a couple of times, they've still been a bit leggy in games.
Yep.
They haven't been clinical enough and killed games off soon enough. Sheffield United is
just one
example where you was. That's not one of these games, completely different team, completely different quality level.
And we're away.
And you're away, add something different to it. I'm gonna go with 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. You don't think we're going to concede? That defence is pretty decent, to be fair. Saliba and Gabriel, pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. The defence, that's the one thing. Your defence has been consistent. Like you're not leaking too many goals.
Not too many, no.
You're just not consistently scoring loads. Even though it kind of certain games, obviously you pick it up and score 5 against Sheffield United.
Yeah, true.
So it kind of makes.
But we should be really.
Yeah. That's the Saturday. Anything else from you from Arsenal Brentford?
No, I just hope we win, mate. So I can see it going very wrong in it, so I just hope we win.
No, I couldn't agree more. They are a dodgy team and they can just turn up some days and just blow away teams.
Exactly.
But I don't think this is one of them days. Anyway,
hopefully not.
Moving on to Sunday fixtures. First game on Sunday, only one of 2 games on Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff. Tottenham are at home against Villa.
I've gone for a result that helps you, mate. I've gone for a result that helps you lot here.
Helps us lot.
Well, not helps you, but like it helps everyone, innit? But as the more points Tottenham drop off in it, the further away they get, like from us, from challenging or doing anything in it. So I have actually gone for Villa being a bit too strong for Spurs, and I've gone 2-0 Villa. Because Richarlison, is he there? Is he playing? Woeful striker. He's not going to do anything.
I think Son. They'll probably rather play Son up top.
And Son, I don't think he's going to do nothing against Villa, mate.
Nope.
Villa's defence is good. Ever since Tyrone Mings got injured, they've been solid. And I just don't think Tottenham are going to have the answers for them because their defence is non-existent right now.
Yeah, it is a bit. The team's ropey. As we said it, as soon as you take a few of them key players out, they've got an 11. If that 11 plays, it's really good and it works and they know what they're doing. But if you take a few of them players with quality out, the team is just back to like scrappy Spurs under Conte. Basically,
back to horrible.
It doesn't matter how you're trying to play. The players that you're putting in and replacing with these other players, then they're not going to play. They haven't got the quality to play the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as you try and keep the same system, and we're not going to change much, things change because the players are different. It's as simple as that. You've got Eric Dyer and stuff like that, relying on them guys at the back, Emerson Royale. I don't think you can go very far with them lot at the back. Honestly.
True.
I have actually gone for a Villa win, even though their form mostly comes at home, and Spurs have been good at home as well. So going against the grain, I'm just going to go over 2-1 Villa win. What did you say? 2-0?
I said 2-0 Villa.
So 2-0, you don't think Spurs are going to score?
I don't think Spurs are going to score, mate. They're bottling it, mate. Yeah. Maddison's out. like all their defenders are out. Geez, it's not looking good for Spurs.
You might see a similar situation to the Wolves game. I think that there's potential for that, where they could be 1-0 up.
Yeah, 100%.
All of a sudden, it looks like they're playing with 10 men.
100%, mate. And I got that one bang on as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Wolves, well played to
Up
them.
the Villa, mate.
Please take the points off them.
We're loving the buzz that's coming from Villa Park at the minute.
We're loving it.
Another good team in the Premier League that can make a difference and compete against the better teams. Not just going to turn up and roll over.
Yeah, kick Spurs out of the Champions League, man. Aston Villa, we're happy for you to get in there, mate.
Exactly. I wouldn't mind actually. That
as long as you don't get too close to us.
If you changed Villa for Spurs, that would be I would like that top 4.
Oh, and they keep out United, even better.
Yeah, if City got relegated, even better.
Oh, minus 30 points they should.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with that. But moving on, the second game on Saturday, 4:30 kickoff, Goodison Park, Everton at home to Manchester United. This is an interesting game actually, and the way that the books have lined up these odds interests me a lot actually. I think, from what I remember, Everton and United are just about similar to win the game.
They should be. United are as bad as Everton at the moment.
If anything, no, actually, I believe Everton are favourites.
That's hilarious.
Everton are favourites, sitting in 19th. I mean, they've won 3 of the last 5, Everton. They seem to be they're starting to get back on a track of being able to get results in games.
Yeah, well, I mean, minus 10 points, I think they're still going to stay up.
They've got 3 wins and a draw in the last 5 games.
That's good.
So, obviously they're playing different opposition. This is United now. But United, they're a strange team, man. And I don't like Everton against United because, historically they've been the feeder club for United's rubbish players. And then when United want an Everton star, they just pick him out of the hat quickly. So there always seems to be a tendency for Everton to just fall over and just let United do what they want in these games.
It's true. I don't think Sean Dyche will let that happen though.
There's that, and they can't.
No, they need the points.
They've got 4 points again now. 10-point deduction sits them right into 19th place, into that relegation battle, and they need to quickly establish themselves. And I think if they do that, if they get back to where they was,
perfect,
with the 10 points in let's say 6 games, they're buzzing with that.
Oh yeah,
because I still think they'll think we can still get more points than Bournemouth and Sheffield. Who was it again? Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Burnley, and Luton. I'm going 2-1 Everton.
You're going for Everton win?
Going 2-1 Everton.
Love that.
Going 2-1 Everton.
Absolutely love that, mate. I'd be buzzing if that happens.
Do you know what? I can easily see United nicking it again, as they have been. 1-0 victory or a 1-0 goal margin. Goal margin, sorry. So it could be 1-0 United, 2-1 United. Another moment where they nick it in 99th minute or whatever it is. But yeah, Everton, that's going to hit them hard, and it'll be interesting to see how they react to that news. Are they treating it as, all right, we have to go now, that's it. There's no delays in these games anymore. We have to go, and hopefully they just give United hell for 90 minutes. Yes, United. Everton can turn it over. The head-to-heads don't really reflect that. It doesn't happen very often, but the position that Everton are in, I'm giving them a chance here against United.
I'm going 1-1, mate.
1-1.
Yeah, I'm going 1-1. They're gonna share the cake.
I wouldn't mind that either. That's a great result. I don't want any of these teams to win in, to be quite honest with you.
Neither do I.
And I'll prefer the draw. Yeah, take points off each other. That'd be brilliant.
I'm going 1-1, mate.
I like that result. I'm hoping that one comes true, to be fair. Forget about my 2-1 Everton win.
No, I like Everton win, don't matter to us.
Yeah, I know, but still, I know either of these teams, they're taking points of each other.
Even better.
Brilliant. But yeah, that rounds up Sunday's fixtures. Only 2 games on Sunday, which means the remaining game of the game week, 8 o'clock on Monday, Craven Cottage, Fulham hosting Wolves. Where do you see this game going, mate?
I think this is going to be quite close. And the way we predict stuff, we either get it bang on or we get it so wrong. So
at least the margins.
The margins are normally correct, but they might be like off. I think this is going to be super close. I think both teams have like good quality players where in that moment, whoever gets the chance and takes it is going to be the winner, which is why I think it's going to be 1-0 Wolves.
Yes, you know what? I like Wolves. We've said it a couple of times now. I like how they perform in games. We've worried about how Fulham. I mean, both teams. We've kind of worried about where their goals come from.
Mm-hmm.
But in these games against each other, it can be like a madhouse. Whereas both teams they're open for goals and both teams take their chances, and it can end up 3-2 or something like that.
It could do.
I'm going 3-2 Wolves.
That's a big scoreline.
Big
on a
scoreline.
Monday night, mate.
Monday night, 8:00 kickoff to round up the fixtures. I'm going for a big scoreline, 3-2 Wolves. Yeah, I'm going for it. I like Wolves, to be honest with you. I do have a soft spot for Wolves and how they've gone about things this season with the problems that they supposedly were having. They seem to have kind of disappeared and fallen back into the background, but they weren't spending too much money. Manager was having rows with the board, and you've got to bring a manager in after pre-season, just before the season starts.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, this Wolves are getting down here, mate. They've not the structure's not there.
Yeah.
Organisation's not going to be there. Togetherness not going to be there. But they proved everyone wrong, I think, to be honest with you, so far anyway. And they put the performances in. That's the most important thing. Sometimes they're not going to get results, but especially for fans to watch when they're watching them games against United. When they're watching the win against Tottenham before the international break, this just gives you the belief that we're on the right track here. You know, don't have to worry about things too much, and you can still improve because they can still improve the team, obviously, if they get some investment in or whatever. But yeah, I do like Wolves and the way they're going about things. I worry about Fulham and where they're getting their goals from, but like I said, in this type of game, you kind of have it where both teams are just getting chances and taking them. So,
mate.
What do you think?
I already said mine, mate. 1-0 Wolves, mate.
So you've still gone the similar gap.
The same gap, but just not that many goals. I still think they have quality, but I think in moments they'll miss their quality, and then when someone actually needs it right at the end, it will either fall to a Fulham player or a Wolves player. I just think it's going to be a Wolves player, and they'll nick it 1-0.
No, yeah, I agree. I do think it's another flip of the coin type of game.
Yeah, that is.
But it'll be quite an interesting one to watch, I think, to be honest with you. Might be tuning into that on Monday.
That'll be a good game, that one, I think.
Yeah, that sums it up, mate.
That's it, mate. Another week done.
Another week done. We're going to look back, obviously, after Monday, see how we got on with our predictions, tot up our scorelines, and we go again.
Go again, mate.
Another week done.
That's it.
Week 13. Brilliant games. Very interesting games across the board. Flip of the coin games. Like, three. How many would you say of them are flip of the coin?
Probably like
City,
3 or 4.
City, Liverpool.
Maybe more, to be fair.
Newcastle,
City, Liverpool.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Newcastle, Chelsea.
Fulham,
Sheffield
Tottenham.
United, Bournemouth.
Yeah. Villa.
Everton United. There's loads of them.
Loads.
Mate. There's loads.
Loads can go in. We might come back next week and we're like, it's gone completely the opposite direction to where we thought, and we're just like, oh, again, another horrible week.
That's it.
But hopefully not.
Hopefully not, mate.
Until next time, we'll see you again soon. Everybody stay safe, take care, and have a good weekend.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure hosting you. Have a great rest of your day and see you all again soon.